Imagine if you can take all the notes for those client meetings and translate those into tax strategies that your clients would love you for. That's what we're going to do today in this video. I'm going to show you how to use ChatGPT to analyze the notes that you take at client meetings, get out all the good stuff, and then go above and beyond and actually analyze the latest tax rules and regulations to pull out individual strategies that might be a good fit for your clients and that can potentially save them a lot of money. Okay, so we're going to dive into my screen here. Let's switch on over, and I'm using ChatGPT GPT-4, the latest version, and you can do the exact same thing what I'm doing today. In fact, if you like what you see, just drop a note, and I'll be sure to share the prompt with you. So here, this is just some typical notes. So let's just say you want to just input your notes. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to pop them in there. So this is the meeting notes. So meeting notes from John, age 40, married with 2 dependents, S Corp owner, personal income of $200,000, business revenue of $500,000, with expenses of $350,000, contributed $19,500 to 401k, which is the maximum limit for 2023. Purchased machinery for business worth $50,000. Owns a rental property. Generates $30,000 in income. Expenses of $10,000. Wants to sell that rental property and buy a larger, more expensive property while avoiding taxes on sale. Installed solar panels on a rental property costing $15K. Investment portfolio, stocks and bonds. Sold stocks with capital gains of $10K. Ooh, this is exhaustive, right? Foreign income of $20K from a business in Canada. Charitable contributions of $5K. Max out as HSA. It's $3,600 for an individual. That's a health savings account, if you're not familiar with that. Out-of-pocket medical expenses of $2,000. Paid $1,000 in student loan interest. Child care expenses of $6K. Paid alimony of $12K. Gambling winnings of $5K. Casualty loss from storm about $8K. Uses car for business, logged about 100,000 miles, and home office occupies 15% of home. So that's a lot of stuff, right? Your notes may be even more exhaustive, right? So how do we actually get this into something a lot more comprehensive without pounding through like various tax software and spending days or weeks trying to come up with the perfect strategy? All I'm going to do is I'm going to click on enter, and let's see what happens. So now let me just kind of zoom out a little bit here so we can kind of see what's going on. All right, so it's thanking me for providing the meeting notes, and it says, I've read and understand the details about John's financial situation. Now I will proceed to step 2 and analyze the latest IRS tax information from the 2 links you provided. Please wait a moment while I gather the necessary data. I will use this tool, and I'll show you about the secret plugins that I'm using later, to visit the link, and another tool to download and analyze the PDF from the second link. After that, I will proceed to step 3 and provide a comprehensive tax strategy for John. Okay, now this is not perfect, right? I've been using this over the last few days and tweaking it. Hopefully over the next few days, it's gonna get even a lot more better and accurate. Okay, it says I've successfully gathered the necessary tax information from the provided links. Now we'll proceed to step 3 and provide a comprehensive tax strategy for John based on the meeting notes and tax information. Please wait a moment while I prepare the top tax strategy recommendations report. Ooh, all right, say that 5 times fast. Okay, so let's go ahead and say proceed. We are ready to rock and roll here. So I'm going to click on enter, and let's see what this comes back with. Okay, so now it's actually preparing the report. Now, while that is going on in the background, I want to show you a few things here. We're going to get back to this because this is actually going real-time live and basically getting all the latest information based on what's going on. So it's building this report for John. So basically, it's doing a few things here. Number one, remember those links I talked about earlier? Well, it's now, mid 2023, and there's so much that's going on in the tax world. You have to stay on top of all these things. For example, right, you go to the IRS website, there's the Secure Act 2.0, there is the Inflation Reduction Act. So this, for example, this is the inflation adjustments for 2023, and with the act came more than 60 tax provisions, including the tax rate schedules and other tax changes, right? So the IRS basically created this a lot more rules and regulations. If we click on this link, this is the PDF. So this is a massive 28-page PDF. I'm not going to go through all of this, but I just want to kind of show you some of the stuff, as accountants or tax accountants or CPAs, you really have to know. So we're looking through this. You can see there's provisions for child tax credit on earned income credit, the kiddie tax, cafeteria plans. It goes into adoption assistance programs, general arbitrage, rebate rules. Now, if you're not familiar with a lot of this stuff, don't worry, because you're going to see something pretty cool in just another moment here. So this document goes through all the latest stuff, and this is on top of the existing tax code, right? So how the heck are you going to actually go through this and understand it, or hope that your tax software can catch this stuff or give you the correct recommendations and strategies? Again, this thing goes on and on for 28 pages. I'm not going to go through all of this, but it really, really goes into detail. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a shortcut, and we're going to get ChatGPT to go through this document for us. Now, for those of you familiar with ChatGPT, you know it number one, it can't access information after 2021, right? So there's a hack for that I have in here. Also, it can't really read PDFs, right? So I have a hack for that as well. That's going to happen in this. So anyway, this is this long PDF. I'm going to get out of this right now. The other thing it's doing is actually going over to Tax Foundation and getting some of the latest tax bracket information, right? So all the latest 2023 tax brackets, right? All the information for the standard deduction, exemptions, AMT, earned income tax credit, child tax credit. So a lot of other information, the QBA, the qualified business income deduction, section 199A. So scanning all this stuff too. Don't worry about remembering any of this stuff. All you have to know is that it's going to do the work for you in the background. Okay, so let's go ahead and pop back on over to our friend ChatGPT and see how it's doing. Okay, so it looks like it is done. So now it went ahead and created this report. So top tax strategy recommendations report for John. All right, so number one, maximize business deductions. Okay, so John can take advantage of Section 179 deduction for the machinery he purchased for his business. This allows him to deduct the full cost of the machinery in the year it was placed in service. And I think a little earlier, John mentioned that he did, get some. He had some expenses for the machinery, right? So he purchased $50K. All right, so that looks good. Every now and then you should fact check it just to make sure GPT is not hallucinating and that the information is indeed correct. Okay, so that looks good. Home office deduction. Since John uses part of his home for business, he can claim a home office deduction. It's calculated based on the percentage of home used for his business. In John's case, it's 15%, which is correct. Okay, vehicle expenses. He can deduct the costs associated with using his car for business. Okay. Real estate strategies. Okay, so now let's actually get into some real estate strategies. He can use 1031 exchange to avoid paying taxes on the sale of his rental property. John can use a 1031 exchange. This allows him to defer paying capital gains tax if he reinvests the proceeds in a similar property. So this was specifically mentioned in the notes, right? So basically, John was saying, he wants to sell a rental property and buy a larger, more expensive property while avoiding taxes on the sale. So that's exactly, if you're not familiar with the 1031 exchange, that's exactly what this kind of procedure does. It allows you to reinvest without the taxes. Okay, let's keep going here. So far, so good. Like I said, it's not perfect, so we're going to try to fact check this as well. Solar energy credit. John can claim a tax credit for the cost of his solar panels he installed on his rental property. This can offset some of the cost of the installation. Okay, cool. Retirement contributions. John has already maxed out his 401k. However, if he hasn't already done so, he could also consider contributing to an IRA or SEP IRA, which could provide additional tax deductions. Okay, great ideas. Again, we want to make sure that he is indeed eligible for that. Foreign income. He has a foreign income from business in Canada. He may be able to claim a foreign tax credit or exclude some of this income from his U.S. return, depending on the specifics. Charitable contributions, of course, he can deduct those. Health savings account. John has maxed out his HSA contributions, which are tax deductible. Okay, alimony, he can deduct the alimony, of course, casualty loss deduction, the qualified business income deduction, right? That section 199A. So as an S Corp owner, John can take advantage of the qualified business income deduction, allowing him to deduct up to 20% of his qualified business income. So remember, I think they mentioned that the QBI was mentioned in, I know it was one of these, one of these documents here. Yeah. So basically, it mentions this, and it kind of goes into the details of it, right, with the 20% deduction, right? So again, you want to make sure you grab the latest information. Don't assume that ChatGPT is going to grab stuff, because it's going to cut off at 2021 unless you do a lot of these workarounds with the prompt that I built and that I'm going to share with you in just a moment. Okay, so let's go back to this here. Capital gains. He had some capital gains from stocks. Okay. Okay, so it gave us 10 decent strategies. I like this. This is looking good. So as you can see, you can be as comprehensive as possible. So basically what we just did is we took the notes and we drilled it down into some particular strategies that we use. Now, what we can do is next steps is basically look at how much we could potentially save using all of these strategies, and then go back to John and say, hey, John, I want to let you know about some strategies I've come up with and how much we can potentially save. And that is your foot in the door. So depending on how you're pricing that service, right? I hope you're not giving away that information for free, right? So this allows you to kind of get into some tax strategies. You can sell that as a high ticket item, right? So you can basically, for example, if you're saving, let's say you save John, $20,000, you can sell that tax plan, that tax strategy for a few $1,000s, plus the implementation work that you're going to do on top of that, right? So there's a lot of different ways to kind of slice and dice that. So like I said, this is just version 1 of my tax advisor GPT. I'll be working on this in the next several weeks. If you are interested, if you're an accountant that wants to kind of test it out with me or be a beta, let me know. Just shoot me a note. You can also find out more. I'm going to actually include a copy of this prompt in today's newsletter. So if you haven't already joined, our new newsletter is Accountants in Front of AI, where we help you learn how to build a highly profitable practice while boosting your profitability using AI. So I'm going to actually include the prompts that I use in this, as well as some other analysis as well. So be sure to subscribe, sign up, and I appreciate you. I will see you on the next video.